In previous videos, I've recommended the use of a hub adapter to mount your sprocket, and while that is a great recommendation, I highly recommend doing a few things to make sure it does not slip. Now, I've seen a lot of people where they use the hub adapters and they slip, they damage spokes, and they're thinking, what did I do wrong? And while it's understood that hub adapters in and of themselves will help and not destroy your wheels, if you don't install them correctly, they can damage your spokes. Even if you think your hub is the right diameter, double check, triple check, quadruple check. Get yourself a caliper from any hardware store. Harbor Freight has them for $1.50, I think. Clamp both sides of the caliper on the middle diameter of your hub and go off that diameter. You can give or take like a decimal point or whatever, but if your hub is 1.25 inches, you can't use a 1.5 inch hub adapter. I've seen some people where that's the case. Their hub is like 1.25 inches and they use duct tape or they stuff paper towels in there. And when they clamp it down using a 1.5 inch hub adapter, it slips all around and they're confused. Why is this not working? It's because you didn't do your proper research and you didn't install it correctly. However, for those that are using the proper hub adapter for their hub, there's a few things that I recommend doing to make sure that there aren't any slipping issues. Number one, tighten the bolts equally. So make sure that one of the bolts is not tightened more than the other. So make sure that both of the bolts are clamping equally together, and that will help with the slipping issues. Also, don't be scared to really tighten down those bolts. So feel free to really yank on it. Now, another thing, before you install your hub adapter, make sure the mating surfaces are clean as a whistle. If there's any sort of grease, dust even on it, on the mating surface, if you clamp that hub adapter around that hub and there's all that stuff around it, it can potentially slip. Even take some coarse sandpaper and don't go crazy, but just gently put grooves, some texture on the mating surfaces, so when that hub adapter clamps down on it, there's a little bit more friction. Now, by far the best method to making sure your hub adapter does not slip at all, among the others previously mentioned, is by using what is called assembly compound. Now, what this is, it's made for bicycles. There's a few different manufacturers that make this, and it's carbon fiber crushed up into almost dust, and it's put into a paste. It's made for bicycles, around like the handlebars, the seat post, and it creates a lot more friction. And so if using it on a motorized bike, you can use it on engine mounts, you can use it on a lot of different things, but I also like using it on hub adapters. So there's really no need to use like the keyways, cutting your hub to use a keyway. None of that nonsense. You take the assembly compound, you put like a little dab on your finger, like the size of toothpaste. You might need to use a little more of that. You smear it on the mating surface of both your hub and your hub adapter, and you tighten down the bolts, torque them down a bunch, and no more slipping. So that's about all when using a hub adapter. If there's any more questions about hub adapters, motorized bikes, or anything in general, you can contact me by commenting on this video at sub to A.M.B Garage on Reddit, or noahalger@facebook.com. My email is also noahalger@gmail.com. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I helped with something. All right, have a good one.